What does the governor do? So if you remember, these gears spin, the crank gear rotates with the crankshaft. The faster that gear spins, the faster it will spin these gears, which will impact whether or not that post comes in or out. So seen from the side, it's fairly obvious. The faster it goes, the more these will be flung to the outside, and that post will come in or out like that. That post is going to push on this. So the faster the engine goes, the more that post pushes this in, and the slower it goes, the more it pulls it out. That is connected to the post on top, which we're going to see in the next step. So the faster your engine goes, the more that pushes in, that spins the post clockwise, and the slower the engine goes, the more it spins it counterclockwise. Now the goal here is to get it sitting like this, with this little throttle bar just below that lip. If you can't get it exactly there, don't worry about it. I did have to bend this a little bit with a screwdriver. Please call me over to assist with that, because it's very easy to ruin the metal. So the goal here is to have this able to sit right about like that. Don't push that post down in. You want to have it right about there and be ready to snug that bolt up. The post we just talked about with clockwise, counterclockwise is here. Before I adjust anything, I'm going to make sure that this doesn't move up and down too much. If it does, I'm going to push that little black ring down while I hold the post. The only thing keeping this in place is that little black ring and friction. If you push down hard enough on this, it will fall into the engine, and then you have to open up the entire side cover to get to it. So adjust that first. You can hear it clicking back and forth. There's that little elephant in the ear in there that we just saw in the previous step. The throttle is going to sit over top of that. If it won't go down far enough, like I said, don't push the post down. You might need to widen this out a little if you release the bolt, and it won't sit down a little bit further. So for the actual governor adjustment, I am going to need my 3/16 inch socket and my 3/8 inch wrench. Yes, those are non-metric. I want to set the maximum throttle position when I do this, so I'm going to put the throttle on full. I want to have this bolt finger tight to the point where it's about to start gripping that post, but not yet. And then I want to put my socket on there, my 3/16. I should be able to still freely twist that back and forth. So I want to set this all the way counterclockwise. You're only turning it about 1/16 of a turn. So counterclockwise. And while I hold that in the counterclockwise position, I'm going to snug down this bolt. And you want to make sure that is at the right height. If that arm is too high or too low, it'll either bend or get jammed on the bolts underneath. So now I've got that counterclockwise on that bolt. I'm just going to snug that down. How tight does it need to be? Tight enough that that post and the arm always move together. I can no longer spin that without spinning the whole arm, and we're good. Do not over tighten that bolt. After that, make sure the springs are hooked on. Again, a spring should be very easy to attach and detach. Like this one, I'm just going over under. And this one, if it is too stuck, you can go to the side to get it on and off. You do not need to overpower the springs. You will ruin them. So essentially what we just did is we set the maximum RPMs this engine can hit. So when this is counterclockwise, you remember that little elephant ear inside of there? That is the lowest it can get, meaning these gears are not pushing on it at all. So our maximum throttle position now is calibrated to when these aren't pushing at all. As the engine speeds up, that rod pushes. It will tend to shove it this direction. As that rotates, it'll pull this direction, which closes down the throttle in the carburetor. So anything faster than this position, it will automatically throttle downwards. So essentially, we just set the maximum throttle position so it will not rev beyond what the engine can handle. To be perfectly honest, that is very confusing. So all I would really expect you to do in this lab, at the minimum, look how the springs are pulling. Are they pulling on it or are they not? Which way are they pulling? And what is that doing to the throttle inside of here? So even if the whole setting the maximum point doesn't make sense, do what I'm doing now. Set it down to 0, feel how the springs pull. Set it to maximum, feel how the springs pull differently, and watch what happens inside of there.